And this is CredibleHulk again. We are going to be building our factory and processing plant. We've built the power plant, as you can see, and we've put in our batteries that are getting charged as we speak. And we're next going to be building our processing plant, which is going to consist of our assemblers, our refinery. We're also going to put in a medical bay, and we're going to put in some extension tubes for reasons unknown right now. They're in secret. They're going to be for our oxygen generators and our oxygen tubes and our hydrogen tubes, because we're going to need to have a hydrogen buildup so that when we go into the atmosphere, we're going to be able to use hydrogen thrusters. And right now I'm just running up to get some parts so that I can get started on building our plants. And I went ahead and edited out me running back and forth when I get everything set down, except for when I start to place down more key components to our base. But I'm just grabbing a little bit of the essentials so I can get started on the layout. We're also going to put down a cargo hold. That's what it is, a cargo container. So I start with my cargo container. That way, that's where I want the flow of parts to really be. That way I know that my parts will come in and out of that one area. And then I'm going to build an assembler. And if you notice where the doors are facing, that's how you're going to want it to feed back and forth between all of your parts. You need all your parts along with a conveyor. That way it can pick up and move objects between places. Because your refinery, you're going to put your ore into your refinery, and it's going to turn it into ingots, and your ingots are used by your assemblers to build components, and you use your components to put together the parts. Or you can also use a terminology of it. You can use it to build parts to put your components, since the things that we're putting down could be considered, component. Like this is the medical bay component. But if you notice on the top and bottom of the medical bay, there's those door openings, and what those are for is for the flow of oxygen and hydrogen. That way you can replenish your oxygen pack, because your suit runs on oxygen to keep you alive, and it also will replenish your hydrogen that's used in your jetpack, because if you don't have any hydrogen, your jetpack won't replenish, which is why I have no hydrogen right now in my suit, as you can see in the HUD located on the bottom left hand of the screen. So I can't fly, which is why I'm walking around all slow and crap. I hate it when I don't have any hydrogen, but I don't have the processing plant right now. So those two offshoots that we put down, that's where we're going to be putting our oxygen tank later, and our oxygen, or our ice processing plant for oxygen processing. Right now we're just filling in the parts slowly and surely. So we have the setup down. We're just filling in the parts now because we've got the two assemblers next to each other. The reason why we use two is because they can work in conjunction with each other, and they'll share the taskings between themselves as long as they're set that way. There's a setting that you use. I'll show you later when we actually start recycling parts. But also what I like to do sometimes is I'll set one to assemble and the other to disassemble. That way I can continuously recycle parts as necessary. So, but we got the refinery down, the tubes, and I'm just gonna let you watch because there's really not much to talk about. I set everything up, and we'll just watch it go. If you have any questions, feel free to post a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Eventually what we're going to do is we're going to do an adventure. Like I'm going to go into creative mode, and I'm going to make scenes and make basically a web series about space survival and stranded stranded spacecraft in the style of Star Trek. So, but we got that little branch there. That's for our gas tubes that we'll be using. I don't know why I keep on picking up various parts instead of just remembering what I needed. I tend to do that a lot. And right there, that was a perfect edit. Perfect cut. Where we didn't have them, then suddenly we have the parts. Just finishing all assemblers in the refinery. The last touches on the conveyor tubes. The only thing left now is the medical center. And that's a lot of stuff I still need to pick up. So there's going to be a couple of edits here. But I don't know why I didn't just go up and grind on the medical center to begin with. That's what I should have done. But instead I was like, you know what, I'll use what I have here. So I also haven't been showing me grinding up the orbital lander because I felt as though that was a waste of time sitting there having you watch me grind and grind and grind for no reason. Although it would have been cool to show you the play-by-play and how I ground it up without getting killed or squished, anything like that. Because it's in layers, so I usually start at the top or near the top and work my way down, and that way parts can just fall off and fall to the side. So we should be putting the finishing touches on our medical facility, and then we'll be done. And on to the next. Because after this, we're going to start doing the oxygen and hydrogen tanks, which is what we'll need later for getting into space. And we're just ops checking the transfer, the conveyor, make sure that everything flows back and forth. And that is our processing plant and refinery. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.